Hello.
Hi, you can't see me right now, but I'm wearing a hat. What's that?
You are wearing it.
On uh, what is it? The Trixie and Katya,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's what it is.
Oh.
And they're like, hi, I'm the uh I'm the nightmare that you had last night, Katya, like that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? And they
Yeah.
introduce themselves. Hi, I'm
Hi.
wearing a hat right now, Michael Jenkins. How are you?
How
How's it
are
going?
you though? How are you?
I'm
How's your week?
I'm good.
Sun is shining. How have you been enjoying the 25-degree weather?
I'm not. I
No.
don't know. It's too hot.
Too
It's
hot?
in the apartment.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're in like a closed-in apartment. Go
Well,
go
yeah, but
outside.
I work from home.
Yeah.
And then by the time I'm done work, it's not hot anymore. So I can't go outside and enjoy it. So I'm just sitting here and my creases are getting moist.
Ew.
Yeah. You know what? If I'm gonna be uncomfortable, y'all are gonna be uncomfortable.
You should
It's annoying.
you should just take your computer and go work outside. Is that allowed?
No, I'm just gonna no, because the balcony's so gross right now because it was winter and then instantly summer.
Yeah,
So
true.
like everything that's on the balcony, like everything needs to be dusted, everything needs to be like cleaned off, it needs to be swept. I would love to be able to like scrub it with like water and soap and like that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
It's hard because there's so much construction happening too. So like the second you clean it,
It's gonna be dirty
it's
again.
just dirty because it all flies back at us. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Mm.
do like I would say like 2 or 3 times a summer, a
Mm.
season, we'll say, a balcony season.
Yeah.
Um, I go out with like hot soapy water and like clean the because our balcony, like our the outside of our building is brick, but where our like balcony is, it's kind of um like a brushed steel slash aluminum and glass.
Yeah.
So I just go out there with hot soapy water,
Yeah.
wash it all down, and then I go with like glass cleaner and polish it up nicely.
And I wish you could take like a power washer and just get it done in like 2 seconds.
Well,
But neighbors and like people don't like getting wet, I guess.
and
It's a
that's
little
what I'm worried about
frustrating.
with like cleaning the balcony is like if go out there, like I would love to scrub it with like a like a bristly pad thing, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
actually get all the dirt off, but I'm worried that there's going to be neighbors that complain about it and
I
like
know. It has to like you have to wait until it's raining outside to
yeah,
be able to do anything.
but even then like you can't just pour water.
Yeah.
Like
I know. It's yeah, that's a little frustrating. We got to figure out a better way to like clean balconies.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like do
We'll
you
figure something out. We'll sell it. We'll sell it
vacuum it?
next year. Yeah, like I feel like you scrub it really good and then you vacuum it up. Would be good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like maybe like a dry brush and
Yeah.
then like a vacuum.
Hmm.
Um
Wiley
Wiley
likes it.
yeah. Wiley he has the cone of shame right now because he went to the
Cone of
vet.
shame.
And he's been quiet all day long. He hasn't done a thing. Actually, all weekend. He just lays and sleeps all day long. And then the moment we start recording, he's like, I'm gonna start doing laps. So
Both of them.
yeah.
Jack's right here too. He's like, "Hey,
Haven't seen Jack in 48
can I
hours.
come up? I heard you're recording."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just rude. Rude animals. How are you? You've been MIA for like 5 days now.
Yeah, I was cat sitting.
Yeah.
In Etobicoke. I was cat sitting. And then I got a random arm infection while I was there.
An arm infection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So
do
okay,
tell.
this is the story. Let me go back, okay? So I get to this person's house. I know them, like they're friends of my dad's. And I had a couple days off work, so I was like, "Oh, I'll just hang out in this area anyway, do some homework, whatever." There's no point going back and forth.
Yeah.
So I went to bed one night and I saw like a little bug. And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Interesting.
Threw out the bug. There were no other bugs anywhere that I could find. I was like, the windows were open. So I was like, "Oh, it just came in from
Yeah.
outside." It's like our apartment. It's like the air conditioning's not on yet. It's very hot. But they live in Etobicoke, like by the water and like kind of marshy areas. So there's just a lot of like random bugs. So anyway, I was like, oh, it just came in from outside, whatever. Woke up the next day with like, it looked like a bug bite. It looked like a spider bite kind of. But there was no actual like bite marks anywhere. It was just like the red ring. And then, so I went to Shoppers and I was like, hey, like, what do you think this is? Hoping it like wasn't a tick or something. And she's like, no, it's just like, you're probably just having an allergic reaction to a bug bite. And I was like, okay, cool. Next day, woke up and it was like massive. It was big and it was like, you could tell it was still like growing.
Yeah.
So
was this before or after you marked it to watch the growth?
this was like, I marked it before I went to bed, before I went to the walk-in clinic.
Okay.
So this was like after Shoppers.
So Michala Top was like really smart about this. She's like, I'm gonna have concrete evidence that this thing is growing.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And then when I went in, the doctor actually measured it. So I was onto something. And he's like, this isn't like a bite. Like you would have had an initial flare up and then it would have just gone down after that. And you would have had like a bite mark. He's like, no, I think this is a skin infection. I was like, cool. So now I'm on antibiotics for 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So like it's still like it kind of flares up. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah.
Like it's here. Kind of looks like a bruise, kind of.
Yeah. It almost looks textured, almost like you have goosebumps, but like not like a lot.
You know what I mean? It feels like it felt like a sunburn.
Oh.
So like sometimes it like kind of pulses and hurts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it hot to the touch?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like very, very hot.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's crazy. A skin infection.
Yeah. Very weird.
Yeah.
Typical Michala goes away for like 2 days, comes back with some kind of infection.
Yeah. Skill, you got it. Luck,
not
at all. Not at all.
It's like just my luck, of course.
Yeah. I mean, at least it wasn't before like a massive event like it usually does.
Yeah.
Right?
True. And it also wasn't like disgusting looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just looked like a sunburn.
Yeah.
Or I burned it on something.
It was like an accent mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
if it was like gross and like disgusting, I'd be like, ugh.
Wrap it in a bandage.
The medication that I'm on makes me like super sensitive to the sun.
Oh.
So I need to like really coat myself.
And it's been like the week of sun.
Of heat. Yeah.
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 Wow.
So it's fun. Fun times.
You're really killing it these days.
Really killing it. Yeah.
Good job.
And now that was my vacation. It was supposed to be my like little vacation away from home.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna sit outside, have a couple cocktails. No, couldn't do that. I had to sit inside.
Yeah.
But I did watch all the Men in Black, so
hey, that's a win.
Yeah.
First one, slaps.
Great.
Second one, complimentary to the slaps.
Yep.
Third one was kind of like a okay, you did that.
Yeah.
And then the last one with the what's his name?
Chris Hemsworth and yeah.
That was like okay, you guys really need to stop it.
That was like you're just making a movie about something completely different and you're gonna just attach it to the name.
Yeah, you're not staying loyal to the franchise.
No.
Like we want J and K doing the story and not some asshole. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. We don't want the Hemsworth brothers.
No, they're in enough.
We want J.K.
Yeah. Like,
yeah. But it was entertaining. So
that's good.
That was my week. What about you? Anything noteworthy?
I worked all week. Oh yeah, okay, so Easter Monday, right?
Yeah.
It was like okay, so Easter Monday is not a bank holiday, okay? But government, I think government was closed Easter Monday.
Yeah, because Bianca didn't work Monday.
Yeah, but for some reason I had to work,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, that's fine. But because like I'm in a rotational program and I'm currently working with a nonprofit, this nonprofit took the Monday off, so they had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. But because I am employed under the bank, I had to be on the clock working that day. And I was like, well, how does that make any sense? Like I'm working for these people, but there's nobody available to talk to me if I have questions or if I'm trying to get something done.
Yeah.
So what I did is because I'm the social media manager uh, for a couple of the programs that this
Hmm.
organization has. So what I did was I scheduled 2 weeks of social media posts, and like they post 8 times a week. So like this is like it's a lot.
Yeah.
And like it's I have to come up with the social copy. I have to like research who we're going to be highlighting. I have to make sure that it's like timely because like we don't want to have somebody who's been highlighted in like the last 4 months
Yeah.
because like so yeah, so I did that. I set it up for for the next 2 weeks, and I was gonna do it for like the remainder of my time with the organization because I'll be done in June.
Hmm.
But
Wow.
then I remembered that
So soon.
there's a program coming up that is going to be rotating out one of the social highlights that I do. So I was like, I'm not going to go that far because I'm just going to have to redo it and then I'm going to be mad at myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that. And then
Got it.
Thursday, no, not Thursday, Friday, I did a allergy deep clean of the apartment.
Yeah.
Um, because Fernando is definitely allergic to Jack.
Hmm.
And by definitely, I mean like he has been taking like nasal sprays and allergy pills, and he's still sneezy, and it's
Yeah.
just like you just feel so bad because you're like, like you're going through it for me, like that's
Yeah.
all it is. So
Yeah. And you guys have been staying here a lot more too. So
mhm.
it's not as much of like a,
Yeah, like
yeah.
there's no balance for him to be able to like stay home and not be around Jack.
Hmm.
But it's really hard with Jack because he needs insulin, right? And it's
Hmm.
twice a day, and so if I'm gonna be coming home, it's like, well, like you don't want to get your animal excited to see you and then leave them alone,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know, it's a big moral issue
Mm.
for me. So yeah, so I went and I took out Big Bertha, the vacuum,
Mm.
and pulled out the furniture and I vacuumed everything. All the windows were open so that like if there was dust getting kicked up in the air, hopefully it would kind of get sent out the door. Or more would be coming in from the construction site that's outside my door
Yeah.
as well. Um, yeah, and then I washed like all of the all of the fabrics that would be like on the couch and
Hmm.
the throw blanket on the bed and um, yeah, so I did that. And
Fun.
then Jack got a bath on Saturday morning,
I was gonna
and
say, is this like a big shedding time for a cat?
yeah, because
Yeah.
like yeah, it's like a
Just whenever the seasons change.
yeah, like their winter coat is coming off, and
Yeah.
the thing with Jack is that he has a really thick undercoat,
Mm.
so you're like, you have to like really get in there, but
Yeah.
he hates being brushed.
Yeah.
So I usually end
Too
up with a
bad,
couple
buddy.
scars. This one is from 2 years ago.
From brushing him? Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, and then um that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
My game that I like playing,
Mhm.
right?
Harry Potter?
What's that?
Oh no, your Oculus.
Yeah, on my
Yeah.
yeah, my Population 1 game. So I didn't realize this, but there is a website that keeps track of your stats
Mhm.
in real time,
Fun.
and it tells you where you rank on it's an MMR ranking, which is your matchmaking ranking, so that if you have a high rank, you won't get matched up with like new players who aren't
Yeah,
very
like
good, right?
balances where yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just so like new players don't get discouraged when they first start playing, like that kind of thing.
Well, and also like if you've been playing it for years, you're not stuck with like all the new people and you're like, ugh.
Well, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's really fun to just annihilate newbies. Like it's just such a good feeling. Like I smashed it.
They're
um,
like, no, no, you're not that good. We're gonna put you against number
yeah,
one.
so I got it. So the ranking goes up to 5,000, right?
Yeah.
And I learned this recently from a couple players that I've been playing with for probably about 6 months now, and they were they kept on talking to me about MMR, and I was like, oh, I don't know what that is, and whenever we would get into a lobby and start playing against other players, it was always like it was just difficult, like so difficult. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. This is so difficult to play. Like we're not winning.
Mhm.
It's just annoying at this point. And so John, the guy that I play with, he goes, "Oh, Mike, it's your fault. Well, it's our fault, like me and John." And I was like, "What do you mean it's our fault?" He goes, "Because your MMR is at like 4,800 out of 5,000." He's like,
Oh,
"And mine
wow.
is at 4,500. So that's why we're being put up against these people." And I was like, "But I'm not that good." So yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's great.
it was really cool to see. And then I
Yeah.
also found that there's like a way to like um there's a way to start a session so that it'll keep track of that time that you're playing and it'll like crunch the numbers for that
Mm.
specific time. Yeah, it's really
Hmm.
interesting. Like they've really
Yeah.
expanded on
So is it like an actual score, or is it like, do you have a rank, or is it just a score? Like,
uh
are you uh 4861 out of 5,000? Or
uh-huh.
is it like
Oh no, like so
your
the ranking
score
that
is
that's like
4,800?
your
Oh, okay.
score. So it
So
would
you don't
almost
have
be
like
like
a,
a test, right?
yeah, got it. Hmm.
So like if you could rank 100% on skill level, um, I'm at, we'll say like a 94%
Hmm.
of like the 100 percentile. But you can look at yourself on like you can look at your ratings and for hang on.
It just reminds me of when we went to that uh VR room for your birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I did so good, and I killed like 6 people. That was it. It's like, I don't know where I was shooting. I thought I did a great job.
I was pointing and clicking the
I was
entire
doing it. I
time.
don't know what else to
Um,
do.
but yeah, you can do. Okay, so if I go for career wins, oh, I can't even. I don't even know where I am here. Compare. Maybe we'll do that. So my MMR as of right now is at 4680,
Ooh, you
and
dropped.
yeah, yeah, good. But it's higher than everyone else on my
Oh, as long as you're better
list.
than everyone else that you know,
Yeah,
perfect.
my win rate for the week is 16.3%. My average damage is 537.4. I've had 20 wins this week.
Ooh.
Um, but
Do you
I
ever play like by yourself, or is it all teams?
you can go up against like computer.
Mm,
Like there's bot battles
yeah.
where it's like you drop into the map that you would play like in squads and you have robots that are like they'll go to all other sides of the map and then they kind of all close in on you. So you have enough time to loot and like get the things that you need in order to win.
Mm,
And then they just kind of like start showing up and killing you.
mm.
There's also other ones where you can do um it's like 6 on 6 and it's called team deathmatch and it's like the first team to hit 30 kills wins the session.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's timed. It might be timed for like 15 minutes, but usually it doesn't take that long. So you can do that, which is really good for like new players. It also helps you get your experience points up so that you can level up and get more loot and like different skins and like that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, squads is where you would play. Like I often get teamed up with randoms because I don't really have any friends on the game that are on as
Consistently. Yeah.
exactly. But when they do come on and it's fun to play, like that's when you really get that like community friend thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, when you start the game, you always say something. What do you say? Drop or something? What does that
Oh,
mean?
potting or dropping.
Potting. Yeah, potting. Every time I'm like potting or drop. I
so
know at this point.
so potting is when you go and you get into like a metal cage and you press start and it launches you in a pod and it carries you to like throughout the map, right? So that you
Okay.
can get further into the map and then you drop and then you can loot and work backwards.
Okay.
Um, but then there is dropping where you just don't get into the pod, you just fall off the platform and you like get right into the nitty-gritty of it, which is really fun because a lot of the people who play often, they all just drop. And so it's like the first person to pick up a gun and actually like loot something to kill the person in front of them is like it's a lot more fun. Um, for me, it's like if I'm gonna win or if I'm gonna lose pretty quickly. But if I'm gonna
Yeah.
win, I did it like with like all the excitement.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's really
fun.
funny because sometimes there's no gun when you're dropping to where you're going, but you always start out your match with a knife, and you
Mm.
have to be very close to somebody to hit them with a knife.
Yeah.
And so there's times when it's like you'll just see like blinks of red and you'll hear like a sound,
And
and
you're
it's
like,
like
no.
someone who's like behind you, flying behind you, and they're like swiping at you, and it takes 35 every swing, and you start out with 100 health. So it's like you pretty much have 3 hits
Yeah.
before they kill you. And yeah, it's
Oh God.
it's so funny.
That's fun.
It's really funny. I was having a conversation with one of the people that I play with regularly, um, and we were talking about just how like we play so much, like it's almost an obsession.
Hmm.
And we were talking about the reason why we play so much. And I said to them, I was like, you know what? Honestly, at this point in my career, what's that sound?
I think it's the washing machine.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was like.
I thought it was Jack peeing. um, I was saying to him, I was like, honestly, at this point in my career, like I make a good income, but I don't make a good enough income to go out and buy experiences
Mm.
on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
And this is like I bought it once. I can pay for things in the game
Hmm.
with real money,
Yeah.
um, but it's something that I enjoy doing. It doesn't cost me anything to do anymore, and it's yeah, it's budget friendly, and it's a great opportunity to have an experience, save money,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. I
So,
feel that.
but
Fun.
definitely obsessed. So,
Yeah. Just a little bit.
um, it's so funny too because I always feel really awkward if there's somebody else home when I'm playing because I'm very aware that like I'm just standing there with a big piece of plastic on my head and I'm talking to random strangers, often teenagers because that's people who play the game as well.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so funny whenever I'm like walking by because I'm usually in the kitchen like making dinner at that point. And I'm always nervous that you're gonna like push your hand out and it's gonna like whack my food off my plate as I'm like walking by.
okay, I wasn't
So I'm just kind of
hungry.
like, sorry.
Just yell.
I don't know when you can hear me or when you can't though,
I can
because
always hear
aren't
you.
they uh soundproof? Not soundproof.
They're earbuds.
Oh, okay. They're
Like
not
I can
noise
often hear
cancellation.
things. Yeah, I can often hear things in the background.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, yeah.
It's like boom.
Oh, my
My
broccoli.
broccoli. Crap.
Okay, last thing about this game before we change topics here. I was playing with two people yesterday, and one of them is a person that I really enjoy playing with. He's really funny and he's good at the game. And he invited a guy who is just good at the game, right? And so um we were it's called getting pinched where you have like people are coming in from like different areas.
Hmm.
So you're kind of getting sandwiched and you have like two different squads that you're fighting. And they were fighting one squad and I was fighting another squad. And they were both getting closer and closer and closer. And then I died. And
Oh.
when I died, I had like a gun that I really liked. I had like all the health that I needed for like that match, I thought. Um,
Thought
didn't
I
have a chance to use it.
died.
And I had two grenades that I was like really saving because frag grenades will do 150 damage, and if you have full shield, full health, it's 200. So like, pretty much if you can grenade somebody, it's like 3 shots and they're done.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I die, and um, this this guy that I don't know, he picks up my grenades and he starts throwing them, and I was like, "Aw, my nades." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, man." I was like, "Those were family heirlooms." But he doesn't know me.
He's like, "Sh-"
He's like,
So when you
"What's
die,
his
do you
name?"
get to come back or do you just have to watch?
You can come back. So you die and everything goes gray, and you can walk around as a ghost.
Mm,
And then when your teammates have the opportunity, they take out
they
the
have to.
defibrillators,
Oh,
and they have to put them in a circle like this, and kind of like in the movies when defibrillators are like being rubbed together.
yeah.
It's like that. And they get charged up to like a full bar, and then I think there's like 5 seconds of like electricity that comes off of them, so your teammates can be like flying in as ghosts, and you can catch them in the air, and they'll come back to life.
Huh.
Hmm.
Fun. Is this like Fortnite? How like
It's
the board gets like
yes,
smaller and smaller?
yeah, it's like almost identical to
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Ooh, so who came up with the idea first?
Fortnite, Fortnite.
Oh.
But that's kind of the big joke right now is that everybody who is playing the game, like people who are Population 1 players and have been playing it for a while, are so pro Pop 1 that like
Mm.
anyone who mentions Fortnite is the enemy. You guys have no business being here. This
Losers.
is our world. Yeah, like they're so hardcore.
So if you play this really well, would you be able to play Fortnite? Like, is it basically the same?
I would assume so, but the biggest thing for me playing this game is that it's that virtual reality. So,
Hmm.
um, like it's so easy to get lost in that world,
Hmm.
um, because you like you use your controllers and everything. You have to move
Yeah.
your hands to reach for things, and you climb
When you're
and you
climbing,
fly,
I've
and
seen climbing like this.
yeah, even like ducking behind hard cover like walls and stuff like that, so you don't get shot. Like you actually have to like duck down,
Yeah.
and it's like, I mean, like these knees are getting old, so like,
And I'm just eating my broccoli on the couch. So you're
mhm,
like, you're
you're like,
fighting
please
for
don't
your
punch
life.
me, please don't punch me. Yeah. It's definitely worth it. I've even just watched the advertisement for it. Like they did such a good job with the promo video for Population One because it's
Yeah.
like it's so intense. And when you're playing it, it feels that intense and you
Hmm.
feel like you're in that world.
Yeah. I just, yeah, I have such a hard time with getting like so super like
Immersed.
motion sickness.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's also I wonder if that's something that's like um because I know that if I think about something or if I can't let go of an of the idea of something, then it bothers me the most.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I used to watch vlogging all the time, and you were like, I can't watch it because when the camera moves too much, it makes me dizzy and it makes me
Yeah.
sick. And after you said that, I can't watch specific vloggers
Yeah, because
because
they
I
move too
know that they
fast.
move too
Yeah.
much.
Same
But
with
I never,
movies, like Blair Witch Project and like the ones where like Paranormal Activity when they started coming out with the ones that like
yeah,
people would record themselves kind of thing. I
yeah,
I left so many theaters because I couldn't
yeah,
watch it. But I think it has to do with my eyes too because I can't like they're so different that I can't focus on like one thing. Because it helps a little bit, especially with like 3D when I'm wearing my glasses underneath.
mm,
But
yeah.
yeah.
It's funny because like the moment you told me about that, then it started bothering me.
Yeah.
But I never thought about it before.
Huh.
So
Well, I guess that's good that VR doesn't bother you.
yeah, thank God.
Yeah. Now you're gonna start playing it and be like, oh, motion sickness.
No, I'll take the what is it called? What's the pills that you take when you have motion sickness?
I don't know.
Gravel,
Oh,
the
yeah, I
nausea
guess so.
medication.
Yeah. Huh. Oh,
Just take Gravel to go watch Blair Witch Project.
right.
I really want to watch this.
So on a complete opposite note, how do you feel about RuPaul's Drag Race finale?
I think it's great. I think Sasha Colby really deserves it.
Yeah,
Um,
they were both really good though.
yeah, I agree. I think when it comes down to it, with like when it comes to a winner for RuPaul's Drag Race, I don't think it's so much as like who's the most talented queen.
Hmm.
I think it's who's the best queen that's going to be able to continue to drive business, right?
Yeah,
You need somebody who's you're giving them a large sum of money that they could potentially start their own like business, their own entertainment business.
Yeah.
And like one of their biggest things for Anitra was that she had that resting bitch face, right? Like
Hmm.
she was a very cold looking individual. And not saying that that's the reason why she didn't win, but like that's something that a lot of people I think need to take into consideration. Like your personality on the show, the villain of the season probably isn't going to win
Yeah.
because you have like who's going to want to sit in a boardroom with somebody who's going to make them feel like garbage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think Anitra's great. I really, really liked her, but
Hmm.
I think she still has a lot of growth.
Hmm.
I feel like if she came back for All Stars or something in a couple of years, she'll be really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, but yeah, I think Sasha Colby was just at that point in like her career where she's ready to do bigger things, you know?
Yeah.
Like look at Jinx when they brought Jinx back and it's like she's on Broadway now and like
Oh,
they're
like
doing like such cool
swept
things and I
too.
feel like that's the level that Sasha Colby's at
Yeah.
or could be at right now. And
Well,
I feel like the other ones kind of need more
yeah.
um
Okay, so
a little more growth, I
let's go
guess.
through the top four
Yeah.
because like I have an opinion of all of them.
Hmm.
Like just from watching, I don't watch any of them on social media. I
Yeah, I
don't.
don't. Yeah.
I stopped following um drag performers on social media because I no longer like I'll watch a show.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't need to know what you're doing in real life.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go and see you anytime soon. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, but like we'll start with um gosh, what's her name?
Lux?
Yeah, we can start with
Mistress?
Lux.
Okay. Lux. Yeah.
So Lux, out the gate, she's so confident,
Hmm.
but like blindly confident. That person who thinks that everything they do is 100% polished and doesn't need to be corrected whatsoever.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
I like the idea of them like going out 100% and being super confident. I like that. It's the like nothing needs fixing,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Um I just don't know where Lux will go from here. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like she's just kind of a fashion. This is the issue with some of them. I find they're fashion queens and they're really good at a look,
Hmm.
but like what else can you do?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Well,
could
even
you
like
hold a
as
one
a
woman show?
that's what I was just
Could
gonna say. Like as a
yeah.
personality, like I don't think Lux is. I don't think Lux is a personality that I would personally enjoy watching on like a talk show or a stand up or like even a TED talk. Like I don't like there's just something about the arrogance that you're making me as a viewer feel like you think you're better than me already,
Mm-hmm.
and I just don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Um if there's a little bit like more humility to Lux's persona,
Yeah.
100%. Like
Yeah.
um like we'll say like even with Willow Pill, like the last year's queen. She had all of the humility. She
Mm-hmm.
was she was ready to say that like she's has like medical issues. She, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she was, yeah, it's fine, and she would joke about it, like with the toaster in the bathtub,
Yeah. 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 I think I kind of knew Lux wasn't gonna win. Like I think yeah, like their looks are really cool, but they're just kind of unrelatable to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, not that it's bad to have like super supportive parents, but like I feel like her journey was just super positive the whole way through, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to relate to.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, still great.
yeah,
Still good. I think her looks were amazing.
yeah,
Probably I think my favorite looks from the season were from her.
yeah. I agree.
I liked the cast one. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that one for? It was
Um,
like
something like oh, it was gloves. The
gloves.
glove one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that I didn't like that everybody was like going crazy for was the one where she had like big plastic like water or ice coming off of her, and it just kind of looked like underwear with tights and this like plastic dress.
I don't know if I
Um,
remember that one.
okay, tell us your opinion of Mistress.
Okay, well, first, like, um, thoughts was that she looks like, oh, what's her name? She looks just like,
Oh,
um,
uh-huh. Um,
what's her name? The
um,
Elephant Queen. What's her
the
name?
Elephant Queen.
Yeah.
It starts with an E.
Ele-
Um,
uh, El- Electra? No.
no. Um, I want to say like Eugene, Eugenia.
She calls herself the Elephant Queen in like a couple songs. Hold on, hold on.
I found the image that I want to show you. Um, hmm, Big Queens from Drag Race.
Eureka.
Eureka. See, Eugenia.
Eureka O'Hara. She looks exactly like Eureka.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking right at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This outfit where she had like,
Oh, yeah.
right? It was kind of like a fairy moment, but
hmm
um, yeah.
I don't like the critique sometimes because they'll get mad at some people for just wearing like bodysuits.
hmm
And I feel like she did that a lot.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm
she
like,
was.
you're wearing the same silhouette that you do every single time. Like
Yeah,
it's that like two strips over the boobs kind of thing, and
yeah,
then like the bikini
yeah,
bottom
and then
look.
like something that accents
Yeah.
like with
Yeah.
fairy wings or whatever.
And then it's like you're wearing a bodysuit again.
Yeah,
It's like, oh.
whiskey at wig. Okay.
I didn't like Mistress at the beginning.
hmm
I started to like her throughout the season. I feel like she got more comfortable and more like personable,
Yeah,
but I feel like she had that like that front on at the beginning.
yeah. I think for the season's entirety, she always claimed to be like uh, like a pot stir.
Mm.
She was always willing to admit that if there was an issue, she was going to tell you what the issue was. You know what I mean? She's always going to be upfront about it, and like that's who she is, and that's why everyone loves her. That's why she has so many friends. And um, but yeah, um, I didn't not like her. I was probably closer to liking her over not liking her.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed watching her more than I enjoyed watching Lux.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Um, but
I like when she was in her different eras.
yeah,
I'm in my congenial era.
it's so true though. Like, but that's also a thing too, is like these queens when they go on these shows, you have to have something that reminds the audience who you are,
hmm
right? Because look, we couldn't remember Eureka's name, but we could remember that she calls herself the Elephant Queen,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you have to have those, like even like Miss Vanjie, when she
hmm
was walking off the stage the first time, she just kept on saying her name. Now nobody can forget who Miss Vanjie is, even
Yeah.
though we haven't seen
Yeah.
her do anything in so long.
That's very true.
You know, um, like you have to have something that the audience can anchor to you that will cause them to reference you and like keep you in their memory.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, in 6 months from now, every one of these queens that was on this season are gonna look so different because their makeup's gonna change. There's probably gonna be
A lot of lip
a
filler,
lot of lip filler,
Botox.
um,
Some of them already had a lot of it for
weight
the
loss, weight
finale.
gain. Like there's like you're gonna
Yeah.
change so much that you're not gonna look like the same person.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, go back to watching somebody's first season and then watching them at like the meet and greets that are happening
Yeah.
nowadays.
hmm
What?
They get that TV money.
Yeah, they got their all-stars
Yeah.
lips.
I love Anitra. I think what I liked about her is that she was so like quiet and reserved. Like
hmm
I guess just like had that very down to earth personality.
Yeah,
But it felt very genuine.
yeah,
Like I'm not a sassy, like kind of out there person.
yeah.
I'm quiet,
I'm
I'm
not
more
in your
reserved, but like
face.
when I get on stage,
That bitch.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna like send you all home.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she did.
And I like the scar.
I really enjoyed the
Yeah.
Scar. It did remind me of Scar from Lion King, though.
Yeah.
That's what every time I saw it, I was kind of like, yes, I like that. But even as a boy, when he was doing the interview for the finale, he put that scar.
Did he have it on?
Yeah, he put the
Oh, I
scar,
didn't
so it's
notice
been an
that.
interview. Also too, like I really enjoy that Anitra like had like pitted scars and was upfront about it and like being self-conscious about it and like
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like even with makeup on, like you could still see it. So it was like you're still so human to the audience, and that just kind of like drives it home that you're a solid queen.
Yeah. That was kind of like Jinx. You know how she always had like a half tooth kind of thing?
Uh-huh.
I don't think she's ever fixed it
No.
because I don't think she, like
Why?
that's what makes her like
Mm-hmm.
part of who she is,
Do you know how she chipped it?
No. Do you?
I think she tripped when she was drunk or something. I'm gonna look it up. Is it JYNX?
Jinkx, I think.
Oh my god. JINKX?
Yeah.
That's. Oh, it's the second top search. Oh shoot. And I clicked the wrong one. Hang on.
I love Jinx. Jinx's um performance on at the finale was so good. I wish I went to New York to see her in Chicago.
I think she'll be um on Broadway a lot
A
more.
lot, yeah.
Yeah. Uh LARPing with Mormons. How Jinx chipped her tooth. So you know what LARPing is, right?
No.
It's like when people go into like big fields and they dress up um in like costumes and they do like elf battle
That's how she
reenactments.
lost.
Like
That's how she broke it.
yeah, yeah. There's a video on
That's.
YouTube.
I mean, that sounds like something she'd do.
Um, yeah. She said that she used to lie and say that she chipped it during a skateboarding accident. Um, Gosh, it's gonna take me forever to find this. Um, I used to lie and say it was a skateboarding accident because I was so embarrassed about the bottle story.
Oh, yeah, because this says a friend bumped into me while I was drinking out of a glass bottle and it chipped my tooth.
Oh, there you go. Okay, maybe I was just reading another like goofy story. But
Wow.
there's a video of her saying this. It's a LARPing one. Anyways,
This is super, super weird and off topic, but I'm
okay.
drinking water right now and it tastes like banana.
Oh, does it smell like bananas?
I don't know. Smell it.
Let's. I don't think so.
It tastes like bananas. Canadian Heritage Banana.
Doctor, I smell the
Taste bananas.
And they're like, oh, you have a skin infection.
It's probably a side effect of the antibiotics.
Side effect of skin infection is tasting bananas.
Tasting bananas.
Okay, so the last person that we want to talk about is
The winner.
the winner, Chicken
Sasha
Dinner by Eva.
Colby. So good.
So you know what?
So professional.
The entire time, like they said, like, have you ever done this before? Have you ever hosted before? And she's like, no, but I've always wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I've always wanted to. Everything that she was faced with for like a topic, and they're like, she's never done this, and she excelled. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's who you want to be the face of like RuPaul's Drag Race, right? Because like it's a franchise,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's at this point in time, it's a trusted franchise that people are putting money towards it, right? Like Cash App doing the $200,000 grand
Yeah.
prize,
That's
Anastasia
insane.
Beverly Hills doing the year's supply of cosmetics. Um, the like all of the mini challenge prizes, right? Like people want to get their name into this show, and I believe that when these queens leave the show, they still have opportunities to work with these people.
Mhm.
So if you did well on the show, if you were likable, if you were clearly talented and knew what you were doing, yeah, of course, you're going to get sponsorship, right?
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
So
Mhm.
just my idea.
I think too, like what I liked about Sasha was like, um, they weren't afraid of looking stupid. You know?
Yeah.
You know, when some of these queens come on and they're like Instagram queens, and I found that a lot this season. They hadn't really been on stage. They hadn't been out performing because they're all like really young.
Hmm.
They want to look really good. They want to post really good pictures for Instagram, but didn't focus on like them as a drag queen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Um, and I feel like I don't know. There was obviously like a difference in experience level and stuff.
Yeah, and the funny thing too is like you could see it throughout the season that like the new queens who were like uh, what do we COVID babies? Is that
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I guess you
COVID
can call
baby queens.
where they started on social media and like not saying they're not talented because like Sugar and Spice are very polished.
Mhm.
Um, but that's also like you can be super polished and be a terrible performer,
Mhm.
right? And I'm not saying they're terrible performers because I don't know what they're like now, but during the show, like they didn't really excel in anything other than their one personality that they would put on the
Yeah.
runway, right? Um, but for the queens who have been performing in bars and like doing like events for years, like they obviously know what they're doing. Like they know how
Yeah.
they want people to see them.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. If you could take any of the queens to come back for All Stars, who would you choose?
um, I mean, is it Eileen or Irene Dubois, the one that had the bone top on for the reunion episode? Did you watch that one? Did you watch the reunion?
I did, yeah.
I
I'm
think
trying
it's
to think.
Irene. It might be Eileen. Um, I think that she should come back. I think she got eliminated first, actually.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Um, but
Yeah,
I think
they
that
were fun.
it would be really a really good idea to bring them back for an All Stars because they were eliminated first and they didn't really get to show what they were made of, but also during the reunion episode, they were really good at getting what they had to say out
Mhm.
and being able to phrase what they were saying in a way that it made airtime because
Yeah.
it was recorded in it was a 2 hour discussion and it was edited down so that it could be in a 1 hour episode.
Mhm.
So there was things that were cut out.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like there was a lot of queens that were tweeting like everything I said was chopped out and they didn't use anything that I said.
Well, you should have said something a little more important.
You know what? We say a lot of wait, what's the saying? It's like people talk a lot, but they're not really saying anything.
Mhm.
And that's where I think we need to
Yeah.
just
Just
saying.
saying. Yeah. And I think too, a lot of them are quick to put other queens down,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Um, so if you're doing a lot of that and being like all sassy, they're probably gonna cut it.
Yeah, unless you're going to like actually cause drama,
Yeah,
right? Cuz they love drama.
they love drama. Yeah. I like Marsha. I
Yeah,
thought she was fun.
she got a lot better
She got a lot better, yeah.
because when
Yeah.
she first started, she was just wearing chapstick pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
And then released a or is releasing a makeup line, which is Marsha times three, and the first product that she's selling is a pack of three chapsticks. It's so funny.
That's so good.
I'm like, good, good for you. Um,
That's great. I
yeah,
like
Mars
that.
should be good. Anitra, obviously, she'll be back for All Stars.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if and oh, I really like
Selena.
Selena's titties. She's so funny. Like and she's getting a lot of grief online because she has people are saying that she has a fake accent, a fake Latin American accent because there's a video of her from like a few years ago where he is talking and he has like braces and everything at this time about what he like why he got into drag and like why he enjoys it and like that kind of thing and he has just like an American accent
Hmm.
but and that I think the it's a YouTube channel it's called Bussy Queen
Hmm.
and he does like a lot of he or she or I don't know they do it in makeup and out of makeup so I don't really know how to how to navigate that one but they said that as a drag performer, you kind of create this persona, right? And whether that Latin American accent is part of the costume or part of the character that you created, that could be an entirely different argument, right?
Hmm.
And I mean, like, he as a drag performer is Latin American, so it's not really a cultural appropriation. I think it's that might be like maybe maybe Selena is an aunt that he's like, I just really like my
Hmm.
auntie. She's so funny and like this
Yeah.
is her personality when I do it, you know? So yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the things that I saw.
Huh. Interesting.
And then other than that, like
Um, so a bunch of people were saying like, oh, when Lucy got cut, she like completely went the opposite way and like came out wearing like a zombie outfit for the finale.
so cool though.
Yeah.
Right? Did you
Just
see it?
yeah, yeah. It was cool.
When she bows and you can because she has like one of
In
those
the head, yeah.
yeah, so she has like almost like a beehive type of wig, and but it's almost like a Maria Antoinette type of look where it's like big and curly,
Hmm.
but because like that's pretty much like a big cage that's on the head and the hair is wrapped around it, so the cage is split in the center, and when she bows, you can see this like brains and it's like really gory looking and she just like looks like a demonic queen like
Yeah. That was
it
cool.
was it was a really good move.
I'm sure Lucy will be back too.
Yeah, and I hope she comes back with a like a um positive personality
Yeah.
and not like a the world is against me
Yeah.
because that's what we notice so far like every season. The person who like is very talented and does really well usually loses because they victimize themselves,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. And I feel like there was always a fake something there's just like a fakeness to her. I don't
Hmm.
know how to describe it. Just I don't know.
Yeah,
We kind of see right through her. She's trying to be happy for you, but she's just mad.
yeah. Well, in every argument that she would have, she's like, I can't believe I didn't win. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, of course you said that.
Hmm.
Of course you said
Of
that.
course, you said that.
I did really enjoy her at the beginning of the season, though.
Me too. And then something changed.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh,
I
she's
think it
not
was
really like
just
it
the
anymore.
victimizing that changed for me.
Yeah.
Because like even like in my personal life, I have a very difficult time sympathizing with people who victimize themselves,
Hmm.
right? And they're usually the people that you kind of create distance between
Hmm.
because you're like, I don't know
Stop
what to tell you.
complaining. Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you to make you feel better in this moment. And this is the fifth time in the last week that you've made me feel like this. So like, can
Hmm.
you just stop?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
Anywho,
And that's that.
I looks like this episode is gonna be called Video Games and Drag Race, so wow.
Any final thoughts running through that brain of yours?
Um you know, I was thinking about it the other because like because I really enjoy watching Drag Race. Like
Yeah.
that's like a show that like I will probably always be interested in carving out an hour of my week just to like stay tuned. Um, and like Fernando's not really a big fan of it, but like he's like I don't think he hates it, but it's just not something that he would turn on. Um, and he asked me when the finale was or something about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh, it's like in 2 weeks because they're gonna do a reunion and then they'll do the finale, and then probably after that, then we're gonna have." And then I started like rambling off. I was like, probably gonna have an All Stars, then it's gonna be Canada's Drag Race again, and then it's gonna be this one, and I was like, I totally forgot how often there's a Drag Race season.
Mm-hmm. I don't really like it. I miss I miss the build up and anticipation for seeing a season.
Uh-huh.
And I miss going to a restaurant and like going to the bar and watching it.
Yeah.
But now there's so much. It's just
Can never keep track of
yeah.
who's who
No.
or where they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that like 4 seasons, like um RuPaul's Drag Race, the original United States, whatever, and All Stars, those are like the staple ones that I think are fine. And it's like roughly what, 2 months of episodes?
Mhm.
2 or 3 months?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I like UK too. UK is pretty good.
I was just gonna say, and I think that UK and I like Canada's Drag Race because um I like hearing cities that I've been to.
Yeah. I know that place.
I've been there. I'm like,
Been there.
Moose Jaw? A drag queen from Moose Jaw? That's amazing.
From Tottenham, Ontario. Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So yeah. Anyways, I was telling when I was telling him about how many seasons there is gonna be, I was like, oh, this is like like this is probably a lot for somebody who doesn't really care for it.
He's like, oh, I was really like hoping it'd be over soon, but that's like totally cool.
Yeah, the time that there's like a little break,
Interesting.
he's like, um, he's just gonna like recuperate.
But usually you watch it in the morning, like Saturday mornings, right?
I did, yeah, but so on Fridays we watch Yellow Jackets,
Mm.
and then like we order food or like we make dinner and we watch Yellow Jackets and eat the food, and then after that we turn on Drag Race, and then that's usually his like fall asleep nap time type of thing. I mean, like I'm usually done watching at like 1 o'clock in the morning, so it's like
Yeah.
bedtime.
I need to watch last week's episode of Yellow Jackets. That'll be my tonight thing to do.
Such a good show. If you're not watching Yellow Jackets, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
And you can
so good.
binge the entire first season, and I'm so jealous of you right now for being able to binge watch the first season. I will say the most recent episode
It's good.
of Yellow Jackets, they redid the intro, and Alanis Morissette did it. Alanis
really?
Morissette sang the intro for Yellow
Just this
Jackets.
past episode?
I think it. Yeah,
Oh,
I think so.
interesting.
That's the first time I noticed it.
Huh.
I didn't do any research, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't know I was going to mention that on this episode. So. Welcome to OK.
Yellow Jackets producers are like, that's not true at all, but
That's
okay.
not true. Thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, any final thoughts for the listeners out there? What's the date?
It is April 17th.
Wow.
I think this week's actually gonna get a little colder.
Yeah.
So you're probably gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. Windows open, baby.
I don't know. Get outside more. It's getting so nice outside. Enjoy your time outside before it's like 30 degrees, because it's probably going to be an extremely hot summer if this is already what it's like.
Yeah. Well, we had a super mild winter in Toronto.
Like, I wonder what it's forecasted to be, like at mid 30s throughout July and August.
Let's check the almanac. I think they said that it's going to be a fairly dry summer. Oh, final thought.
Oh, okay.
In the last week,
yeah,
they found 2 bodies.
Okay, yeah.
In Lake Ontario, in downtown Toronto. Like right near Spadina and Queens Quay.
Yeah.
Probably like 5 kilometers, like a 5 kilometer span in that area. They've found 2 bodies within
Wow.
6 days.
Like, have they identified them at all or know anything?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Um,
We should start a podcast. Only murders in the water.
Only murders in the water.
Only murders in the ocean.
Only murders in the country.
Only murders in the lake.
Yeah, it's super crazy. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Huh. Crazy.
Nuts, eh?
Well, we'll see if we can get some info on that.
What's crazy to think for me is that, like, for as many times as I run by the water, that there was a time when I was no more or no less than 100 meters away from a dead body that was just in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know if there's like something going. I don't know.
I know. It's crazy to think.
It's crazy.
Anyways,
I hope you have a great week, everybody. Yesterday was Braden's birthday, so happy birthday, Braden.
Happy birthday,
You're probably not listening to this because you don't listen to our
like
podcast.
love and support us anymore, but it's totally fine.
Trash, but like it's fine. Whatever. I don't know how old you are. I think you're 27. Maybe he's 27. Maybe 28.
He's younger.
He threw his back out last year, so I feel like he's 28.
He's 28. Yeah, for sure. It's a 28-year-old thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sneezed and he threw his back out. That's
yeah.
what happened.
Interesting.
Just really, like, it's really terrible, but it's kind of funny. So, if you would like to, actually, one last thought. Okay. This is like my future idea.
Got it.
I was supposed to do the social media thing, and then I remembered what I wanted to say. I was thinking that if I were ever to start a production company, which would like encapsulate the Okay, Hear Me Out, and then like another podcast that I had, and like say any type of production that I wanted to put out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna register because I've changed my Instagram handle, right, to M1C1515. So you can find me there. I'm gonna like intertwine all this. But I think I'm gonna do M1 Productions.
Fun.
Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And it might not just be like the letter M, it might be like EM. Like M1.
M1.
And it pretty much just comes off of like the MIC, but the I was taken, so I had to go with M1. Just go with that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And if you would like to find if people want to find you on Instagram, Michala, where are they going to find you?
Find me at MICHALATODD. That's Michala Todd. And where are they going to find you, Mike? Even though you just told everyone.
You can find me at M1C1515. That's Mike1515. And same thing is on TikTok. And if you would like to find Michala Todd and Michael Jenkins on the exact same channel at the exact same time, you can find us at Okay, Hear Me Out. That's OKAY. Hear Me Out. Check out the YouTube channel. It's doing pretty well.
It's doing pretty well.
We haven't done any like videos of you and I on it.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I'm not sure if we're ever going to do that. Because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of like preparations. But like maybe one day we'll just do like a surprise episode up there.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just visuals. You can put it up in the living room and just have it playing in the background.
Yeah.
And that comes out on Thursdays. And it's also on Spotify video podcast on Thursdays as well. And that's all. So, enjoy your April 17th.
Yeah, enjoy. Open the windows. Play the podcast.
Yeah. Creak open
Good
those
time.
windows.
Yeah.
Ooh, start dusting now, actually.
Yeah, you can listen to us while you do your spring cleaning.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
We'll catch you all next time.
Bye.